I'm always looking for what is that weird, unique story that most people think you couldn't and shouldn't tell as a musical, except it should.
It's not like any other musical I know.
I could see all the million ways that it could not work.
Am I going to be able to rise to the occasion and write that song? There's a lot of pressure.
Are we going to New York? I hope so.
Today is its first day on its feet. We are in our first movement workshop, and we're moving toward its first time in front of a paying audience this summer.
This novel, which in French is called Réparer les vivants, and in English it's called The Heart, was about this 24 hours in the life of a heart. It starts with this 19-year-old kid surfing a wave. You end up with that boy's heart in someone else's body.
It's kind of the end of one life and the beginning of another.
And we're going to follow basically a hero's journey of this beating organ to get from one place to another.
The show is the accident, the process of his parents learning what's happened and deciding to donate his organs and all the medical process that surrounds that.
It is all about the crazy relay race and all of these people who come together to make a miracle happen.
And I got really nervous. I could see all the million ways that it could not work. But what's so cool about it is that whoever is keeping the heart beating is your protagonist. And that's kind of what makes them sing.
And there's been a lot of pop musicals. There's been some hip hop musicals. There's jazz. I don't think there's been an electronica musical. And we read this book and we're like, oh my gosh, this is a show where like our passions and language and everything really intersect. And Anne said, she goes, I feel like we can make this all electronica because it's like it's all within the world of the hospital, electronics, waves, sound waves, the heartbeat monitor, it's all musical. And I actually think what you said to me, you were like, just be open to this. I'm not just doing this because I like this music.
Yes, no, that's true. This is the kind of music people are listening to and are passionate about. Like what you hear in your earbuds every day when you are walking down the street is this heavily produced music, and it becomes like the soundtrack of your life. And I was like, we need to make a musical that's that immersive and that makes you feel that alive.
Last summer, we did a reading at New York Stage and Film in Poughkeepsie, and we came out of that with a whole roadmap of changes we wanted to make. The show is written incredibly fluidly. Everything flows into the next thing.
This 2-week workshop that we're in right now is so unbelievably helpful. There are complicated sequences that have to be staged, and they can't be staged literally.
This workshop that we're doing right now is mostly a choreography lab. It is a lot of putting things on its feet for the very first time.
We're having such a collaborative creative process right now, even just with these 9 actors in the room, building these songs, building the staging with Mandy Moore.
My first time working with Mandy Moore, the choreographer, and she is awesome.
I was a So You Think You Can Dance junkie, and I was obsessed with Mandy Moore.
Huge dancing background, modern dance, ballet.
All 800 of her Emmy nominations and wins.
La La Land, all those things. It's Mandy Moore.
Hey, I'm Mandy Moore, and I'm the choreographer for The Heart. You may know me from a thing called La La Land. Also, I worked on Taylor Swift's Eras tour. Might know that, I don't know. And Dancing with Stars, So You Think You Can Dance. Yeah.
Okay, so let's bring this back on.
My job is to put up the thing that's in the script on its feet and to make sure that the storytelling is clear. And that also it's got a little bit of visual poetry.
This is basically like a roadmap of my brain.
The show's got a bit of elegance to it. It's not just a TED Talk. And so I think we have to keep theatricalizing and finding those moments kind of of poetry that allows maybe the audience to fill in a blank.
Hey, guess what? I lied. This needs to be you.
Mandy is such a funny human being. I'm obsessed with the way that she works.
When I found out that Mandy was doing this, I was like, yes, I was just so thrilled to get this opportunity.
It's how I figure out the songs, the structure of the song.
This is kind of her first dive into musical theater, and I just feel like I won the lottery that I get to work with her, and she does not disappoint.
She reacts so viscerally to artists. Like she'll be like, yes, yes, yes. Which can be so affirming. And I think in the first week, we were all like, ooh, and then now it's just like, Absolutely. Now you crave that reaction from the Mandy Moore. But also, this is kind of her first foray into theater.
I really come from film and television. So this workshop / time to like understand your life as a creator is like a really interesting, because then I get to like actually play with ideas of what this could be. How do we make a hospital? How do we talk about surgery? How do we musicalize a thing that is actually not inherently musical?
I do 8s. There's like a weird kind of like 9 count, 7 count, that this is just like 1, 2, and then it goes. This is like hieroglyphic weirdness.
She is like incredibly inventive. She's impulsive in the room too. She's like brings so much kind of joy to the process.
I know Ian and Anne really well. I've done a couple projects with Ian.
We were in a tent in the woods together working on Snow White. And, she's like, what are you working on?
And he played me one of the songs. I was like, what is that?
She's like, oh, I would do that.
And then he started to explain to me the concept and the idea of it. It's all like EDM. It's all dance music, which is very similar to a heartbeat. I spent a lot of my time with dance music in my life. So I love that we get to have that.
We're in the clue. 3, 5.
The reason I was excited is because I'd seen her on Snow White do all this naturalistic movement, knowing that she could make people dance their faces off.
Especially with her TV film work, she is used to working with like dancers, like people who can kick their face, who can pick a material up, who can pick up choreo like that.
I thought her genius was in taking natural human movement and musicalizing it.
It really is genius.
Yeah.
Like Simon.
Yeah, we just saw Simon surfing for the first time today, and we're
oh
blown away. And we've been wondering what it would look like forever.
This show has already been a really special process because I actually was familiar or worked with almost every single person on the creative team before I jumped on this show. And I think that I now don't ever want to not work with people that I know.
So we do 4 8s, then let's count this. We're just going to go section by section quick.
I've worked with many shows with Ian.
Chris, I have worked with for a long, long time. The second I started working with him, I'm like, I just love the way his brain works. And when we built Come From Away together.
For many, many years, we worked on Come From Away, starting in La Jolla and Seattle, all the way through its trip to Broadway in Australia, London. And
the Olivier goes to Come From Away! Come From Away!
So I've traveled the world with Ian and Anne, and they brought Kait aboard, although I worked with Kait on one of her first musicals.
I met Chris when I was about 25 years old. He directed a reading of a show that I was working on, and I was so awed by him. It's a masterclass of watching a director work with actors. And coming back to work with him this many years later,
it's amazing to be back in a room with her.
It's been a really full circle moment.
I think we're also really passionate about the ensemble musical.
Parts of this show rhyme with Come From Away a little bit. They both have incredible velocity to them. They're both ensemble pieces.
I was such a huge fan of Come From Away, which is part of the reason I said yes in the first place. I started out my career in the ensemble as a dancer. I have been in the ensemble on Broadway. I have covered, I have replaced, I've taken the last bow on Broadway. And hands down, my favorite way to work is inside of an ensemble.
As soon as you take away there's a lead and there's an ensemble, the actors on stage will tell you the story and they're all gonna share parts of it.
I love creating that puzzle of how all these characters interlock and sing together, and you feel the power of ensemble, the power of community.
We all rise and fall together. I'm kind of an anxious performer, and being inside of a family like that is my favorite way to work.
What's great is it's very freeing. And what's challenging is you have to then track, everybody has to have some kind of a movement through and an A to B. But making sure that you really use the skills of that company of actors is a very, very particular set of problems to solve for.
But what we've already learned in this workshop is that specificity is our friend. And how do we telegraph to the audience that in this moment we are playing doctors, in this moment we're playing just normal pedestrians.
The hospital behaves like this, surgeons behave like this, I was able to kind of crack the overall movement language. You know, it's like I knew what direction we were pointing in movement, because if not, it could be anything.
We're in a good space with the story and with the characters. We have a degree of understanding and confidence going into a full-blown production and rehearsal process.
I've never been to La Jolla. I've heard about this theater forever. It's one of the best places to develop a new musical. Like, Chris has so much institutional knowledge there, and he's built up such a wonderful community of people who know how to do this. It's the place to do this.
Especially post-pandemic, trying to get an original show from a workshop into an out-of-town to Broadway feels impossible. The potential for a show like this, which is really beautiful and at times scary, sad.
Equal parts beautiful and heartfelt, and then at other times this feels like a beat that's like rad. It's just like a party.
It does not stop. It is constantly moving forward, and you don't take a breath until the end of the show.
It's really about the big questions in front of us. How do you think about your body, and how do you think about the legacy you're going to leave?
And you want people to see this kind of art. I want to see this kind of art. Shows that actually make you think about your existence are the kinds of shows and art that I want to be seeing. I can definitely feel like a very long uphill battle to get a show like this from here to New York.